Welcome to the Turnbuckle with your hosts, Killer and Cease. And welcome everybody to another episode of Killer and Cease, the Turnbuckle. I am Killer Chris.
And this is Caesar, and today our predictions of Backlash. Backlash is this weekend. We're here to give you our thoughts on all the exciting things that are going to happen this weekend. And you know what would help us to do more of this content is if you like and subscribe our content. Please hit that like and follow button down below.
And we'd love it if you shared it with all your other friends so they can join us all as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Wild ride.
Yeah. You excited for Backlash?
I'm kind of excited for Backlash. I am looking forward to some of these games, most of these matches on the card, if not all of them, actually.
Yeah. You know, Backlash is, it's pretty close after WrestleMania. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still feeling like the after effects of WrestleMania, and then we also had all the releases, and now we got another PLE like right here, and then May is pretty stacked with events because then there's Saturday night's main event in between, and Clash of Paris, not Clash of Italy at the end of the month.
Yep.
Yeah, so we will cover Clash of Italy when we get there, but Backlash.
Yeah. And we might briefly talk about Saturday night's main event in one of our episodes. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how
Depends
that
how good it is, because sometimes you can just skip Saturday night's main event. I'll be honest.
That's right.
Yeah.
NBC and Peacock don't get everything. Well, with that being said, let's break it right in
That's right.
with the biggest match of Backlash to start the matches. Not the biggest of all the matches, but the biggest match to start the Backlash.
Yes.
That makes sense. Good.
You think this is the starting match, right? I think it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it should be. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman in his corner. Tell us, what are you thinking?
This is the one I'm actually the most like 50-50 on, but I think you should have Braun Breaker win just to have him look strong and then move on. I could see the argument for Seth winning since he came out of like he hasn't won since he came back from injury, so I can see the argument for Seth winning as well. So maybe you can convince me on that. I also really like Seth. Seth is much higher on my top 100 than what Braun Breaker is. Um, so I just prefer Seth more. But I think it's also good for these young guys to get these wins and get these W's. Um, so and start pushing. I'm all about, but above my love for Seth Rollins is my belief, and it's time to push these new guys to the next level instead of set WWE up for the next 10 years. And by doing that, you need these young guys to get wins. So I'm going with Braun Breaker. That's who I
There you
think
go.
should win. My heart wants Seth. My head is telling me Braun. I think that's the best way to describe it. I've used that dynamic before.
That's fair. That's fair. I've been kind of 60-40 on this. I've been going back and forth a little bit too. I feel like if they want to end it now after one match, they could easily just let Braun Breaker win. But I'm thinking that it should be a little bit longer of a storyline. Maybe like a
Yeah,
trio match
I
or
could
something
see
like
that.
that.
See, that's the other thing. I can see like they do a trilogy of matches, and then Braun wins the
Yeah.
overall rivalry. Yeah,
Yep. And that's kind of what I've been thinking too. And I think that it's going to start out with Seth winning the first match just to kind of give him that confidence. And then the young guy's going to take the next two and be like, hey, I outlasted you.
I'm
So,
actually fine with that result that you just said there, Chris. Like as long as Braun Breaker like ends up winning the entire feud, I think that's the more important thing. I'm still gonna go
yeah.
with Braun Breaker because they might have Braun Breaker win this one, then Seth win the next one if they do it that way, or they could just end it here. We'll see. Um, with what they choose to do. Um,
I will I will say that usually in these trio of matches, somebody doesn't typically win the first one and then lose the next two. So it'll be nice to see a change here. And I'm still going to go with Seth Rollins because I think he'll win the first one and then lose the next two.
yeah,
Or
I don't mind that idea, Chris. I don't mind that. I think that's a fair point. I'll keep Braun Breaker so we're different. You know what I'm saying? We're a little different. But you
that way
have
we're not
convinced me,
always
even though you have convinced me to switch mine. I'm going
the
to I'm gonna stay with Braun Breaker. I
I
just
feel that.
I think at the end of the rivalry, Braun should be the one on top and moving on going forward.
Yep.
Um, because we gotta get these young guys into positions where they're the top people. You don't have to rely on Seth Rollins, who keeps getting injured all the time. I love Seth Rollins, but he has tendency to get injured a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a little injury prone.
Cody Rhodes is on his last contract. He's going to retire at the end of his contract. He said that multiple times, so he's going to be gone soon.
Oh,
Roman's
I thought
probably
he
on
was
his.
gonna have another one coming up soon, and he was gonna that would be his last.
No, this is his last contract, the one that
This
he's on
isn't.
right
Oh, that's sad. Depending on how long it is.
now. I think we got a couple years. We got a while still. Um, so yeah, so it's time to get some of these young guys into prominent positions. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
And with that being said, let's go on to the second match that should have been on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Um, I do like the storyline that they've done. This is a singles match between Io Sky and Asuka. Chris, tell us what your thoughts are first.
Oh man, I've been so back and forth, and all the information that's come out recently with the release of Kyrie
Kyrie,
Sane.
yeah, we talked about it last week. If you listen to our episode last week, we talked about it.
Yep. It's like, yeah, what if she comes back and costs Asuka the match here?
That's
That's, I mean, I don't know if it will happen, but what if she did? And then there became a thing with Asuka and Kyrie Sane for a little bit while Io goes on to some championship or something. I'm gonna go with Io Sky. I think that she's gonna take to the sky on this one, and she's gonna prove her worth. She just lost to Becky Lynch,
yeah. Last
and I
week,
don't I
last
don't
week.
think she can lose twice in a row. I don't think she will lose twice in a row. I should say. So my guess is my pick is gonna be Io Sky. I'd like to say there's shenanigans with Kyrie Sane returning, but either way, I'm gonna go that way.
Um, Either way, I'm going with Io as well. I think Io is the correct choice, even if Kyrie doesn't come back. If she Here's a problem. If Kyrie comes back, WWE, like, they're saying their decision is, oh, uh, if the fans cheer you loud enough, you can come back, and
Yep.
finish this. The thing is, the We Want Kyrie stuff isn't as big as the R Truth stuff.
Right.
It's just not. It has been like the R Truth was being chanted throughout the show, like throughout the shows he was being on Raw and SmackDown. And Kyrie only the We Want Kyrie chants only came on when Io and Asuka were on screen. That's the only time that they appeared. They'll probably appear in this match too. Those chants. Um,
Yep.
so I doubt that WWE has to also set a precedent. Like, if we release you, like, that, our decision was final. We're not going to go take this back. We're not going to keep
Right.
taking this. We're not going to do this every single time someone gets released. You know, we released them for a reason. You guys didn't. You guys weren't on board with this character. You guys didn't give this character enough love, or the person enough love, or whatever the reason is why they decided to cut them. Um, when they were
That's
there, yeah. I think Karrion Cross was in a similar situation when he got released after SummerSlam. He was just in that big feud with Sammy. People were chanting, "We want Cross," but I mean, it went nowhere. Like, he's still released. He's still gone. And I think
is it
Kyrie's
all
in this.
died.
Yeah, I think and it eventually just died out. Like, you don't hear no "We want Cross" anymore. So
Yep.
I think it's the same thing with Kyrie. So I don't think Kyrie's. If Kyrie does come back, it's only for Backlash, and then she's gone. There's no program with her and Asuka. Is my
Right.
if she comes back, that's what I'm saying. Like, they could make a deal like, oh, we need you to come back for Backlash, just to wrap this part of the story up. But I also think they've done a very good job of making the storyline just about Asuka and Io the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. They have.
Um, Erasing the whole Kyrie from existence, pretty much. But I think
Oh
they
yeah.
have brought the focus what it needs to be on Io and Asuka. Um, so yeah, we'll see where this goes with these two. I'm really excited for this match. Um, these first
Yeah,
two matches, I actually they're going to be really good. This is going to be really good. But yeah, Io Sky. I think either way, if Kyrie does appear or Kyrie doesn't appear, I think Io Sky wins.
yep, agreed. I think that's pretty clear. That's what should happen.
Yeah,
But we'll see. You never know what to expect.
I
I
think
mean,
these
they
two will
could
have a
try
great
to throw
match.
it out.
They'll have a great match.
Hmm.
Yeah, that should have been at WrestleMania, and they're going to prove why they should have been at WrestleMania.
Yes,
Actually,
I don't
to
know
be
why it
honest,
wasn't.
they might not have gotten much time at WrestleMania, so that it wouldn't have been that good a match. They would have only got like 6 minutes.
Yep, and it would have cost the WWE like 2 ads because that's, they didn't want to do
Ah, that.
the ad. Oh, let's not try and tangent this into an ad show again.
I know,
Their
I
ads are
know, I
so
know.
bad.
I hope so. This should be
Oh
good though.
man.
I'm excited. This is my most excited match on this card is the Io and Asuka one.
Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking my most excited was the Seth and Braun Breaker match, but this one's gonna be a good one too. I'm not going down this one.
I think that match is gonna be amazing as well. I have these first two matches are I'm really pretty excited for.
Yep. This next match, okay with. I'm okay with. I'm not super excited about. It's a rematch, so it's already been seen once. It's gonna be Trick Williams with Yachty,
Little
Little Yachty.
Yachty,
Yep,
Little Yachty.
versus Sami Zayn. You think the championship is changing hands again?
I do not think the championship is changing hands again. I think Trick retains. First of all, we have to give a moment of silence for the gingerbread man. All right, enough silence. So, the gingerbread man, Sammy is a murderer.
Sami, Sami going heel. He killing people out there.
I know. Yeah, we wanted for murder anyway. I
At least he didn't put him in an oven.
I didn't think this match needed to be on the PLE. To be honest, the rematch. I think having a rematch is good. I think they'll have a better match here than they did at WrestleMania because they'll have more time. I think that's one thing that we talked about at a WrestleMania review is they just needed time, and I feel like they did the best what they could with the time that they had. But I think this will actually have the time that it needs to do the full double turn with
Yeah.
yeah.
What's crazy is when I think about this, it's like WrestleMania is the setup match for this match. When
Yep.
really there should have been a setup match before WrestleMania to set up WrestleMania
Yep.
because it's WrestleMania,
Yep.
and then it should have been like 20 minutes there.
Yep. That is what it is. But no, WrestleMania is full of ads. And
Yeah.
you know what I think? I think SummerSlam is going to be the exact same, man.
Oh
I
man.
think the exact
Yeah.
yeah. I think SummerSlam is going to be the exact same thing.
That's why they made it 2 nights because they couldn't fit all the ads in one night.
Yeah. So that's what I'm starting to think. Um. So yeah, I think all the big PLEs. I think they're no longer going to be the big PLEs. If that makes any sense, they're not going to be the ones. It's going to be these smaller ones that have the best matches on.
Yeah, it's kind of going that way, and it's
Yeah.
sorely disappointing.
Yeah. But yep, Trick Willie and his lemon pepper steppers are going to retain. Um, in, in, in are going to retain, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Yep, and I agree. I think if my nodding didn't give away my thoughts when Caesar was telling you all about his pick, I agree. Trick Williams is going to retain this title here against Sami Zayn. It's going to be a pretty good match. I think it's going to be a better match than WrestleMania, and it's going to be fun, and I'm going to enjoy it. And hopefully, Trick Williams kind of wins this without the help of Little Yachty, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. It's
Because
it's weird because I think they want to do the double turn. I think they really couldn't do it at WrestleMania just with the timing. I mean, Sammy's still working as the heel, kind of, but then at the
yeah,
end they had the whole shenanigans with Little Yachty at the end of the WrestleMania match. So we'll see how this
yep,
goes. Uh, like I said, I think it'll have more time. I think it'll be better than WrestleMania one. I think we'll forget about the WrestleMania match and only talk about this match. though I do think it's going to be overshadowed by the EO and Seth and Braun match. I think those matches are still going to be better than this one. Um, but I'm all about these young people getting going on, to much better things, and I think Trick keeping the U.S. title is the right call.
Yep,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. So
Yep.
awesome.
We're both in
Well,
agreement with
we're
with
good.
that match. So let's move on to this a highly anticipated tag team contest. Right? We have the Miz and Kit Wilson teaming up against their nemesis Danhausen and a mystery
Yeah.
partner of that he might have. Who do you
Yeah.
think the What do you think about this match, Chris? And who do you think his mystery partner is?
Okay, I put a lot of thought into trying to figure out who the mystery partner is going to be. It's going to be somebody I think that I can't think of because that's how it always works. I've gone through many names, and then I thought, what would be a big splash? I came down to two.
Okay,
I think I'm gonna put in two names here.
that's fine. You can put in
Uh,
two names. There's no rules.
yeah,
We didn't discuss
we,
rules on it. Go
we
ahead. Put
did.
in your two names, man. You
My
good?
my two names were Danhausen's gonna be like, I found this guy, and if I say his name, he just appears. It's Joe Henry, and Joe Henry's gonna pop up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd
Okay.
be a
Okay.
fan of that.
Okay.
That's my first one. Secondly, this one's more of a stretch.
Yep.
I think that he's gonna find a opponent that Miz had some great matches with that works at TNA right now called Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is gonna make another appearance because he made an appearance 8 months ago or whatever during John Cena's run.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we might see a cool appearance from Dolph Ziggler from TNA for this match with Danhausen, and they pull off a victory. And I am also picking Danhausen and his mystery opponent, whoever that might be.
All to win. I could see that. I could see that. So you're saying it can be? You're thinking either Joe Henry or Dolph Ziggler. Those are your two picks.
Yep, Joe Hendry or Dolph Ziggler.
Okay. I did not put a lot of thought into this, but I thought it would be cool, only because I saw him on the like when they did the little transition thing for Backlash. I'm gonna put two names in it, but my names are gonna be a lot bigger names than yours. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I know Danhausen is really good friends with CM Punk in real life. So I can see CM Punk just coming out there and helping him out. Um,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who else was involved and then I was trying to think of who else was involved in the Kit Wilson and Miz storyline, and Obafemi was
Rivalry.
involved before WrestleMania, so Obafemi is my other name that I think could help.
Oh.
And just
Okay.
Obafemi can get the hot tag and squash both of them, and it would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that too. I could see either one of those. Well, I feel like CM Punk might be a long shot, but I definitely could see Obafemi.
Yeah, I think Obafemi is my number one, and CM Punk's my number two pick. But
That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. Either way, I think Danhausen wins this. I mean, I can't see Miz and Kit Wilson win. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't either.
Maybe
Kit
if
Wilson just
maybe if Kit
bounce.
Wilson had his actual tag team partner, it would be funny if it was his actual tag team partner is Danhausen's partner. That would be funny. That would be
That would
hilarious.
be hilarious. And then they beat him.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, Pretty Deadly. I need Pretty Deadly back. I need him back. Though I do like Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson is pretty over
Yeah,
right now. Yeah, but
but is Deadly even around? I mean,
he had a
I
neck
haven't seen
injury. I think it was. He landed awkwardly. I watched the match where he got injured, and he does land pretty awkwardly on the back of the neck
so he might not be back for long ever.
for a long time. Yeah. So he's found a way to make himself relevant as a single star right now. Kit Wilson has.
You know who we didn't mention, who is probably even a longer shot than anybody we've named so far. It would be cool. I heard speculation that over the summer this guy might return. Kevin Owens just throw making his comeback
I,
at
I don't
Backlash.
I don't think he comes
I
back
doubt
until
it.
I think SummerSlam. I think they'll make a big thing at SummerSlam with his return.
Yeah, I do. I agree too. I'm not putting his name on my list. I feel like it's too far fetched, but
Yeah,
it would be cool.
I do miss Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, he brought something unique to the product, which I think they're missing. He was just a
Yeah,
good character.
exactly.
He does very good character work.
Exactly. Very cool. Well, shoot, we've already gone through 4 of the 5 matches. We only got one left. The World Heavyweight Championship. We got Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Even though it's not WWE, but it's still World Heavyweight Championship. Who's going to
I said
win
this
this?
last week. Roman wins. I still think Roman wins.
Yeah, even with all the speculation out there that
Yeah,
maybe he doesn't have a contract, he's taking off all these.
I'm going to choose to ignore that, and I think Roman still retains because if Sean Ross Sapp reported it, that's one thing, but he hasn't said anything. Denise, who's also pretty good at reporting stuff, has come out and said that it was more of an error on WWE and TKO's fault, um, and she's more credible. So I'm
Yeah,
going to because of that I'm going to go with Roman retaining.
there you go,
I'm going to choose to ignore all that hoopla until I feel like a credible source who I trust comes out and says something.
sir.
So I'm going to go with my initial pick, which is Roman.
Yeah, he was my initial pick too. What would I have changed? Let me think about that. No, I don't think so because I don't think they would have put the belt on him if they really had no contract set up and ready to
Yeah, I
go
feel
for
like I
him.
mean it could have been something like the New Day where they had it made a contract that had guaranteed money, and then they decided to change the contract now so it don't pay him out as much, and so then they wanted to change it so he gets bonuses. He gets bonuses instead of that extra pay. Instead of getting that
Yeah,
extra guarantee, you get bonuses, which could potentially give you that money, but potentially not. It depends on like merchandise sales and other things, other bonuses like that.
right.
So it's not guaranteed money. Um,
I feel like that would be the world's quickest. Let's change your contract because it would have been signed within the last month or so.
yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah,
So, yeah, I agree. I don't think Roman's going to lose his first title defense, um,
yeah,
unless
they've done a good
he
job.
really is planning on leaving.
They've done a really good job with um, building up Jacob Fatu. I don't think Jacob
Yep.
Fatu's ready yet, though, to be the world champion. Um,
No,
I just don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready yet. He will be. I mean, he'll get there. I just don't think he's ready for that next step yet. I think he loses to Roman and gets humbled.
yeah, I think the only way he wins this is if Roman really is not if the contract's being an issue and they're going to have him drop the belt. In which case, I think Jacob Fatu would probably just become a transitional champion, which would be like the second transitional champion in a row because that's what Roman Reigns ended up being. And I think it's just too hard. I don't believe that.
Roman's also still scheduled to appear next week and the rest of May. It's just June he got.
Yeah,
It's just his June dates got
move
pulled from
erased.
when
Yeah.
they go overseas. Yeah,
Yep. So I really find all of the hoopla that has been out there right now. I don't trust it at all, and I'm going to go with Roman. Yeah, I think that's
yeah. Like
the
I said,
summary.
no credible source has said that Roman is officially leaving or anything like that. Until you hear something like that, then until an actual source, I haven't heard Fightful really say that or Body Slam. None of them have come out and said anything about it. So
And we're a credible source too. So
no,
and
we're
we
not.
haven't said
We're
it.
not.
Just in case you
We are
guys
not
were looking,
credible source. We don't have
we
credible
are
sources.
credible. We are the
We know
super credible.
we do
We
not have
have
credible
we talk
sources.
with. We can't tell you all the people we talk to because they're it's undeniable. So we're just gonna keep it coming.
We talk to
But
each other.
let's just
That's what we talked to Jeremy, who was on our channel.
just if you hear us say something, it's fact. These aren't facts, by the way.
No,
These are
no,
opinions
it's
of
not
who's
fact.
going to win. Which is a fact that it's our opinion. So we're always fast.
I mean, it's our opinion. Our opinion is we're choosing to ignore the Roman thing, not play factor into this match. They could be also be, WWE has done a thing of leaking stuff too, like dirt sheets and stuff before, um,
Yeah.
to just help out with their narrative and stuff. So it could be something that is also like leaked, so people could think that he might be dropping the title. Um, I think if it was someone else, like someone more credible as a world champion, I would tend to believe it more. But with it being Jacob Fatu, I think it's just because it's Jacob Fatu. Um, I'm not buying it. And like I said, until
Which is
uh,
sad
yeah, until like
because
Sean Ross Sapp or someone like that says anything, then I'm choosing to go with what I think is the correct choice, which is Roman.
yes, I don't see why. Well, I'm a little less inclined to say that Jacob Fatu doesn't deserve the title. I think that he would do a pretty decent run as a short-term
I don't
champion.
think he's ready yet. I don't think he's ready for the title yet.
Yeah,
Not a world title yet. I thought his U.S. title run was okay. I didn't think it was anything special. That was like over a year ago.
I
Um,
mean, he definitely feels closer now, just with the fan base.
he
They're really
does.
behind him.
He does.
They were
Like
chanting
he's
his
getting there.
name when he was beating up
Yeah,
Roman.
yeah. I mean, he's getting there. He's getting there. But like, I wouldn't put the title on Oba or Braun right now either, though, because I don't think they're
Yeah,
ready yet. Um, but yeah. Um, we have this, and then we also have John Cena has a special announcement at Backlash. Chris, what do you think his special announcement is going to be? For fun, let's
something
speculate.
lame, something lame and not very exciting. It's probably going to be where Royal Rumble's going to be in 2027. I don't know.
It could be. They
I don't
haven't
really
announced
think
where
it's
that Royal Rumble is going to be yet, or where Survivor Series is.
yeah. Oh, well, maybe it's where Survivor Series
Yeah,
is
it
then.
could be.
That's the next one. But I think it's going to be the Royal Rumble. To be honest, I don't think it's anything major. It's just a location.
You think he's just there to announce the location? I thought maybe he might be there for because they do that WWE club where they try to get you to spend money each month to spend more money for their
Yeah,
product.
to what get insider information? Is that what it's
you
supposed to
you
be?
get you get like a you get like 24 hours early access to buy tickets before anybody
Oh,
else
that's
does.
all it is.
Well, that's one of the things they just announced today on the commercial that John Cena's in. So that's why I think it
Yeah,
has something to do with that because John Cena's in the commercial.
I mean that's a fair point. You're probably gonna make some kind of WWE club is also gonna get you X, Y, and Z,
Yeah,
and then they're gonna charge you $20 a month for it, or $9.99, just like they did the WWE Network back in the day.
it would. If the WWE Network came with the club though, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I'll jump on there quick.
If everything went back to the WWE Network and we could just watch that, that'd be fine.
Yeah. If that's part of it, if that's part of the deal, sign me up. Because
Yep,
that's what I want right there. Just
I
a
might be there
platform
too.
where I can watch all the WWE content. I just, I don't like it on Netflix. I find it very like unuser friendly for my taste anyway. I find it hard to like
Yeah,
find every little thing. I just want to
it
hit
is. They don't
WWE.
have like a section for it.
Yeah, I would prefer like a section for WWE where I can go to that section of WWE and then look at like all the things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peacock was nice. I just went down,
Peacock
scrolled
did
down to
have a nice see.
WWE.
Peacock did have a nice little section thing. It felt like the WWE Network was like inside Peacock. That's what I felt like. Like the WWE Network
Yep,
was still there. It was just a section of Peacock, which is fine. I just wish Netflix
yeah,
had something similar like that. But
that's right. Greed got to him. Now fans are
however,
unhappy.
I also think no matter what John Cena does, the Undertaker is going to uh like come out and announce that John Cena is going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, in 2027.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You think he's gonna do it now? I guess, because I don't know
if
how many
if this
more
is the only
appearances
date they
he's
can
gonna
get,
make.
if this is the date that works that they can get John Cena, while he's filming
Yeah,
movies and stuff. Like they're about to go overseas, they're about to do the big Europe tour. Um, then they're going to be down in Saudi Arabia right after that. And then during the
Yep.
summertime, that's usually when a lot of movies are being uh
Filmed
filmed.
and stuff.
So he might be gone filming a movie. So it just might be the only date for sure that they have locked in that they can try and surprise him with the Undertaker coming out there, and then you go into the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Although it's no longer a surprise when the Undertaker comes out. You
It
kind of
is. It
understand.
is no longer a surprise. As soon as he comes out, he's like, oh, he's about to announce that he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I guess I'm going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that'll be. I mean, I could see that. I think it's a little early, but I get it if they don't have them locked up for any other appearances for the year. Sure.
yeah. Or this is the only. Well, I mean, they don't have like. I don't even think they have their full like year schedule quite figured out yet. I think they have like they're like. I mean, they probably have dates and they probably have like ideal locations like where they're planning on going, but it's not like locked in yet. 'Cause normally when they're locked in, that's when they announce it.
Yeah.
Like they're in talks
Honestly,
to get this place.
yeah. I'm a little surprised they didn't just put John Cena in the Hall of Fame for this last year, but then they decided to go with AJ Styles, which is fine.
No, they wanted Stephanie McMahon to be the headliner.
Oh,
Well, I mean, AJ was there, you know. I'm glad
AJ
AJ.
was there.
I'm glad
He
AJ is
was
there.
my headliner for it,
Mine too. Mine too.
but
AJ
he
is in
didn't get
my.
much
He was
time.
in my top 10, man. He was in my top 10.
He was in my top 15.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. AJ still. I mean, he's still with the company. He's fun. He's working with the young guys now. You
Yeah,
know.
as a matter of fact, I do have some insider information. I heard that he actually called a independent wrestler named Greta, um, and she's actually I don't know what part if he's like working with the NXT or if
Yeah.
he's working with a different thing right now, but he actually got a hold of independent wrestler called Greta that could be going to NXT at some point here. So keep a look out for her.
Who's Greta?
Greta.
Is she a Wisconsin person?
Yeah, she
Oh,
is.
okay.
Listen, but I have inside sources. I'm telling you.
Okay, you have inside source. Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, see, it's almost like Triple H. So maybe it is Triple H, but I can't say. I can't say main sources.
uh, yeah, but this is Backlash. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
nothing. We have nothing really new to add to this. Or do you think there could be any other matches added to this? We both were talking before this. We don't think there's gonna be any other matches added because we're
no, I
at the
can't think of
five.
any
Because
matches.
we're at the five matches. Yeah,
I mean, there's not really any women's matches on this
that
card.
is true. None of the women's titles are on the line.
Yeah, there's
None
no
of them.
title. They got the one women's match,
Oh,
but
I
no
did
title.
see on SmackDown they have the six women tag match with Rhea, Charlotte Flair versus Fatal Influence. I feel like that. I feel like that should have been on this card.
It could have been.
I think it should have been on this card. I think you debuted those three girls, and have them win at a PLE
Yeah,
instead of the
that would have
Friday
been
Night
something.
SmackDown before.
Well, then maybe they don't win.
I still think they win, but I mean they should win, the three of them.
I feel kind of bad for Alexa Bliss then because I feel like she's the one taking the pin.
She's probably taking the pin. I mean, Charlotte took the pin last week, so
Yeah,
Alexa's taking the pin this week. She's just in that role right now. She's in a role of bringing up uh, the card. You know.
I mean Tiffany's got hasn't been on a PLE in a while, and she's
Yep.
a kind of a big name.
I mean, they
She
could
could
do a
win the
rematch.
title.
Well, she's having a match with Kiana James on SmackDown, so for the title.
Could have been on the card.
Not against Kiana James. I don't think she would have made the card. Um,
Yeah, that's probably fair.
yeah. Um, so yeah, there's that. I think the six women tag match should at least made the card because Fatal Influence was they had such a big impact on SmackDown. They're getting great heat over there. And then having them win at a PLE would have been big instead of the Friday night before.
But this is like their first match, right?
No, this is not their first match. JC Jane, this is their first match as a trio, as the
Yeah,
as a six man on the main roster, as a six person on the main roster.
Yeah. So I mean, oh, I guess JC Jane
Yeah, she had two
had a
matches.
match.
She had a match with Rhea Ripley, which obviously ended in shenanigans because you can't have any of them. You can't have either one of the girls lose. And then she fought Charlotte last week and won.
But the other two haven't had any matches.
On the main roster, no.
Yeah, it'd be kind of a risk to put them on a PLE as their first match.
I don't think so. They
You
did
don't
that
want
with.
to have that botch be on PLE. You want to clean up the stuff and do it on the SmackDown first.
I disagree with that, but I think they should have had it just to get the girls over. I think they could have had it. I mean, you have Rhea Ripley in there, Charlotte and Alexa. Those are big names right there. Just having them
Yeah.
on the card, just having them on the card would have just been enough there. Um, but yeah. Other than that, they have the 5 matches. I think this is a good. I think it's going to be a nice, quick PLE. To be honest with you, after sitting through that long WrestleMania, all those commercials, it's going to be good.
Yeah, but they might still find a way to get more commercials in. So you be prepared because
I'm,
it's
I'm, I'm
you know,
I think there is good. I think it is going to be commercials on this too.
yep.
I do think they'll have longer matches though. I'm
I
pretty
hope so.
confident in it.
I'm feeling
If they
negative.
don't, and it's just the main event that gets a long time, is shoot for us, Chris. Shoot for us.
Yep. If they add one more match to this card, I will be scared that they will have short matches again. I will tell you that.
Triple H only knows really how to book a match 5 match PLE.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
not
it.
mess it up with ads.
Yeah, I do think you can have some quick matches and then some longer ones. Like the Danhausen match doesn't need to be very long. Like that
That's
doesn't
gonna
need
be 10 minutes tops.
it doesn't it does not need to be a very long match. That could probably go
Correct.
6 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't have to go very long.
Well, that's a good point to your Oba Femi being on the team because then it would be like a 5 minute.
Yeah, Danhausen will start. He'll get beat up, and then trying to get to the his tag team partner, and then eventually gets to him. Oba obviously has to get the hot tag. Gets in there, and
Yeah,
then yeah,
and
watch it.
finishes it off.
Yeah, it finishes them off. Yeah, yeah.
I could totally. I think Oba is probably the number one pick. Although I still like my pick, but I think Oba's
I don't
probably
mind. Who'd you say? Joe Henry. I think that's a good pick. I think Joe Henry's a good pick. He kind of fits in that category. You also get him over as as one of the new guys. Kind of get him over on the as a PLE as well. Even though I think like they should have brought him over last year when he was at the peak of his popularity. His popularity's kind of dwindled. Um,
yeah,
like last year he was really over, and he was still over on NXT and TNA doing stuff. I
yep.
get his TNA contract wasn't quite over yet, but
So yeah,
still, yeah,
he'll hopefully bring it back up. We'll see.
yeah.
He's probably got a cheap contract. That's why he's still around. Not
But
because he. So, well, I think that about covers it for all the cool matches that we're gonna see at PLE. Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
yeah, I agree. You know what that means? It's time for that's a wrap for this week's episode of Killer and Seas The Turnbuckle. Thanks for stepping into the ring with us.
If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that follow button. Drop a review and share with your fellow wrestling fanatics. Down below, tell us who's winning the World Heavyweight title. Is it Jacob Fatu or is it Roman? Are we wrong? That's not Roman Reigns. Do you think it's Jacob Fatu? Let us know down below. Got another top 10 or past PLE you want us to break down? Email us at killerseas podcast at gmail.com.
We're available on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.